was popping in the building. Dude, got a good one for you here today. We got a good one for you here today. I know you see the title. Skeam Team. Super Blood or Dirty Blood? Which one is it? You know what I mean? This boy is Super Blood or is he a Dirty Blood? Skeam Team. That's what the topic is today. If you don't know who Skeam Team is, he's a YouTuber. He pretty much is on he's an NY blood. Boy is from New York. He's a New York blood. And so that's why I posed the question. Is Skeam Team a super blood or a dirty blood? Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all, you know, my opinion and whatnot. You know what I mean? Coming from what you would say, I got a pretty good background, a good enough background to where I can address these certain issues, you know what I'm saying, where other people might not be qualified to talk about some of these things due to my background and basically how I came up, you know what I'm saying, as a youth. A lot of these different things I could talk about, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, today's topic, Skeam Team. Is he a super blood or a dirty blood? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the NY Bloods, because, this ain't really, this is just about an individual. It's not, I'm not going at all NY Bloods when I do this video. You know what I'm saying? This video is just about a certain individual. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the NY Bloods. But the question that we posing today is Skeam Team a super blood or is he just a dirty blood? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna basically, y'all can tell me what y'all think, but I'm gonna basically give you my opinion on what I feel. You know what I'm saying? I've been meaning to do this video for a little while now. I've been having it on the back burner, but today I say we're gonna go in. You know what I mean? We're gonna go in, and I really don't know the Skeam Team, dude, but we have had a dialogue in the past, and that's the only place where I can say I know him from. Our dialogue that we had, but besides that, I don't know him personally. I just have seen some of his YouTube videos and bim. I pretty much that's how I found out about him. You know what I'm saying? But it's going on 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and take off. All right. Now, as I just explained, Skeam Team is a New York blood and blood out of New York, I should say. And he's a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you how I first discovered Skeam Team. I'm a YouTuber, so basically when I would be on YouTube, doing my 1-2, his videos would pop up in my suggestions. His videos will pop up in my suggestions, and for the longest, I would never click on it because all his titles, you could tell it was just clickbait titles. You know what I'm saying? So I would never click on it for the longest. You know what I'm saying? And then I guess one day came and it wasn't, YouTube was dry, and his title, his video popped up in the suggestions, and he was more or less, he was more or less talking about like Troy Ave and Detroit Way. It was the Detroit Way thing when all that issues with Treyway was going on. That's pretty much when I was trying to get more insight on the situation. So bam, I clicked on one of his videos, and I watched about a couple minutes of the video, and I click off, and I noticed that every one of his videos he'll have it titled a certain thing, but he would only talk about that for like a couple minutes. Then he would go on and on and on about other shit. You know what I'm saying? So really, his videos never interest me that much, but he did have some insight on the New York blood thing. He had firsthand insight on that aspect. So that kind of intrigued me a little bit. So that's what got me to watching his videos. And then from there, I seen him have beefs with he was beefing with Hassan Campbell at one point. Then he was a YouTuber. I can't remember the YouTuber. A YouTuber exposed some paperwork from Skeam Team, supposedly where he tried to sue the state when he got cut upstate. You know what I'm saying? He tried to sue the state, and the YouTuber exposed this, and that pretty much started a beef between him and some of the OG blood dudes like Killer Kev, Wildcat. They started basically saying he was a rat. You know what I'm saying? And that went on for a little bit. And then CK, if I'm not mistaken, Corey King, he has a YouTube channel. Go subscribe to his channel if you're not. He helped squash that because he had a personal relationship with Skeam, right? So he helped squash that little beef or whatever. I guess now they not labeling. Guess now he's not labeled a rat no more. I don't know how you go from being labeled a rat to now you're not a rat no more or whatever when it was based off of the paperwork in the first place. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not into the New York politics like that. I don't know if he's a rat or not, so I'm not gonna carry that narrative. But you know what I'm saying? Through all this, that's basically what drew me into watching this channel was the New York blood thing just took a life of its own here recently when Queen's Flip had him on his show. So pretty much the history that we never knew, the history that was a mystery, all this time finally got brought to the forefront when Queen's Flip interviewed these OG blood dudes. You know what I'm saying? Along with I gotta give props where props is due. Skeam Team was one of the first ones that was giving you insight on the blood history. Now he don't go back to the founders or the original, so his history could only go so far back. You know what I'm saying? He can only talk about more or less current shit. You know what I'm saying? But he gave you insight on the NY blood politics, I could say, right? So these things, interest me where I was watching this channel, you know what I'm saying? But I noticed the theme to all his videos, you know what I'm saying? And basically the theme was boy really was giving it up on his videos like he's just a super blood, you know what I'm saying? I mean a super blood, like a super gangbanging type nigga, you know what I'm saying? So when I started seeing that, it's like, I had to look at it from a little side eye, like, because in my experience, I done been around the block. Like I say, I came up in the gang culture. I went to the penitentiary as a youngster. I got out and I changed my life around. But I'm familiar with the gang culture because I grew up in the gang culture. And basically, I grew up in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, we are looked at as Southwest, Midwest, however you want to look at it. But the gang culture been in Oklahoma since the 80s. As far as it's the history that I've been given. The Crip and Blood culture have been in Oklahoma since the 80s. Not to mention the gangs that you had before Crip and Blood out here, like the little cliques or whatnot. But in the place where I'm from, gang culture has been around since the 80s, as far as Crip and Blood go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very familiar with the Crip and Blood culture. You know what I'm saying? In New York, they're saying that they just started gangbanging in '93, right? So if they just start banging in '93, I'm trying to show you how long gangs have been in Oklahoma. The gangs have been in Oklahoma since the '80s. You know what I'm saying? Because for one, we're closer to the West Coast. We're closer to California. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the culture that comes from the West Coast, it comes here first before it makes it to the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So basically, gangs have been here since the '80s, as far as the Crip and Blood thing goes. So I'm familiar with the gang culture. When I was coming up, I was growth and development. You know what I'm saying? I was growth and development, and I pretty much been in the gang culture since a youth until I changed my life around. After I went to the pen, I changed my life around. I got my degree when I got out, and I, decided that I wanted to work for myself. I didn't want to work for, the other man or whatnot, and I put my degree to work. You know what I'm saying? So this is one of the things what led me to YouTube in the first place. But saying that to say this, I'm very familiar with the gang culture. You know what I'm saying? So, Bill, from my experience, anytime you see like a person that's part of the gang and shit, and they just so extra out, and they just a super blood or a super crib, or they're a super gangster, they just swear that they, just so official, you know what I'm saying? That every time you see them, they promoting just how official they is. Them normally be the softest dudes in the game, man. Them is the softest dudes in the game. And if they're not the softest dudes in the game, they basically a crash dummy. You know what I'm saying? These are the people. A crash dummy would be a person that's in the gang that he's basically sent on missions. You know what I'm saying? To basically crash out. He's sent to go shoot up different arrival gang hoods, and he's sent to go, do crash dummy shit. Like say if you're in the pen, you're gonna send him to go stab somebody up. You're gonna send him to go uh put the beats on somebody, you know what I'm saying? You'll send him and another one of the little homies to go put the beats on somebody because they didn't pay a debt or things like that. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's what I got, you know what I'm saying, after watching so many of Skeam's videos. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even want to keep promoting his shit. So I just say Skeam. Uh Watching his videos, this is the feel that I got. You know what I'm saying? He's a super blood, you know what I'm saying? Or he's a crash dummy, one or the other, you know what I'm saying? But either way, he's like the dude, like if I was in a gang, he's the dude I would go send to go do missions for me. He's that dude because he's a crash dummy. He's gonna crash out, you know what I'm saying? But the little incident that he had with where he got cut and he tried to get to sue the state. I don't even know if I would send him on a mission because that's showing me little signs that he might be a type of motherfucker to tell if it really came down to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling him a rat or nothing because I didn't see the paperwork. I seen when him and Killer Kev and Wildcat and them was going back and forth. They called him a rat, and then now I think they took that back. So I'm not calling him rat. I'm not. I don't know the New York politics and how it goes and shit like that, but that's basically the feel what I got from him. You know what I'm saying? That basically, boy is like a crash dummy, or he's just a super blood type dude. The one that he gonna do this, he gonna shoot this, he gonna do that, and then when it come down to it, he's soft as cotton, man. He's soft as shamans. You know what I'm saying? That's the feel that I got from boy. You know what I'm saying? Because the real get busy dudes is not the dudes just running their mouth talking. You know what I'm saying? Because the get busy dudes, they got bodies on them. They done shot this up. They not talking. You know what I'm saying? They putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? The get busy dudes, I know you would never see them on YouTube. They too busy getting busy. You know what I'm saying? They in the field. They getting busy, you know? So it's like, yeah, man, that's one thing. If you know anything about growth and development, we move, we operate off secrets and silence. You feel me? So being on the internet, talk about how busy you get or uh, how much work you put in or what you would do to a dude or, you know, all that, you know, is like, we see through that. You know what I'm saying? I can see through that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I admit it do sound good to the public, but you know, the work is put in the streets, not on the camera, not on a live. That's not putting in no work. Or just on the live talking about how tough you are. You know what I'm saying? You got to show that. You know what I'm saying? You got to show that. You know, you got to do tough shit. You can't just talk about how tough you are. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like I said, the streets is far behind me, but it's like a tough guy. I mean, a tough guy, anybody, the toughest man can get his ass whooped, man. Or the toughest man can get murdered. You know what I'm saying? All it takes is a person to have a drop on you. You know what I'm saying? So anybody could get the, you know, once a man got the drop on you, shit, all that tough shit is out the window. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes, they basically once they get locked up, and then when they have to go behind the walls or behind the fence or whatever, and they can't take that pistol with them, oh, they soft as a motherfucker when they behind the walls, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how New York system work. You know what I'm saying? I know out here we have Crips, Bloods. I'm talking about as far as the penitentiary goes. You got Crips, you got Bloods, you got the Mexican gangs, you got your Aryan brothers. You know what I'm saying? And you got like Indian gangs. You know what I'm saying? And all of these organizations move separately, but they do business together and all that type of shit. But yeah, man. Once motherfucker get locked up and they can't take that pistol with them, or they be soft as a motherfucker when they get behind that wall of shit, man. So you know, anybody could talk that rah-rah shit, especially, you know, when a motherfucker got a pistol, you know what I'm saying? But what these talking about? What the hands? What your hands talking about? You know what I'm saying? Can you put that work in when it's just you? You know what I'm saying? When you in a cell and it's one-on-one, what you talking about then? You know what I'm saying? With the hand game like, man, you know what I mean? You know, like this here, that's the tough motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Not a motherfucker that can shoot a pistol or, you know, get sent on a crash dummy mission to go shoot up another neighborhood. That ain't tough, man. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could do that. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could squeeze a trigger, man. And that's the type of shit that Skeam, he glorifies this type of behavior. Oh, if somebody run up on me, oh, I'm gonna blow him down, you know. Bro, put down the pistol, man, catch the fade, man. What your hands talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? What's your rumble game talking about? You know, that's where, you know, you separate the men from the boys, man. The boys from the men, man. You know, and this YouTube, anybody can come on here and kick the rah-rah like they this, that, or the third. Me, I don't portray to be no tough guy. I don't portray to be no gangster, you know what I'm saying, or the gangsters dude on the internet. I don't portray to be none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I am a man. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. You know, so as a man, I'm gonna stand my ground and I'm gonna, you know, do the things that if somebody try me, you know, ain't nobody gonna try me, man. You know, as a man, not as a gangster, but as a man. You feel me? So all that tough shit, that shit don't mean nothing, man. That tough shit don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It's about, you know, being a man first, you know. And a man, if you're a man, it don't always have to resort to the guns. Now, if somebody done took you there with you to where you know it's gunplay, then okay, you can't avoid that. You got to protect yourself and your family at all times. You know what I'm saying? But that shouldn't be our first option to run to the pistols all the time. You know, as the first option. You know what I'm saying? You know, and Skeam, that's the type of he promotes that type of energy as far as he puts it out there like he's a shooter. But any shooter that I know is not gonna be on the internet talking about being no motherfucking shooter, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have basically you should have motherfucking investigations already going on of shit you done did that's unsolved and shootings. And if you done caught your body, all this shit is unsolved. So why would you go to the internet and try to put up a persona what's already understood don't gotta be explained? You know what I'm saying? If you a tough motherfucker, motherfuckers know that. You don't gotta portray this everywhere you go of how tough you is. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody could get it. Anybody. I don't give a fuck who you is. That's another thing I learned, when I was locked up. You know what I'm saying? The toughest motherfuckers, man. The ones that's doing all this, the toughest ones, some of the biggest dudes. You'll see them, you know what I'm saying, hitting that weight pal. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker be walking around your yard swollen a motherfucker. And when it's time to put that work in, when it's time to go one-on-one, you know what I'm saying, they get knocked out. It'll be by a little nigga too. A skinny nigga or a little nigga. You know what I'm saying? Knock their ass smooth out because shit, all that, it ain't about that, man. It ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? It's about putting in that work as far as being a man, you know what I'm saying, to where people are gonna respect you. As a man, I demand my respect. I give respect, so I demand my respect. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, you know, the gangster bravado and all that, man, all that shit do is get you locked up or get you left stinking somewhere. That's all that comes from that type of energy, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want people to think that I'm just getting on here hating on the boy Skeam, but it's like, okay, you got a platform. So if your platform, if this all you doing in your platform is promoting negativity, then basically you misleading the youth now, man. If you supposed to be such this reputable dude from the NY Bloods and all that, I think boy is supposed to be a hat or some shit. No, boy supposed to be a hat or some shit. If you supposed to be a reputable, you supposed to be leading the young G's in the right way, not on no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You teaching them to be a crash dummy like you. He the type of nigga be 40 years old, still getting sent on missions. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know? So yeah, that super blood shit, that super crip shit, that super gang member shit, that shit is straight, that's some flaw shit. That's a way of a motherfucker trying to put up a facade to keep motherfuckers off their ass. You know what I'm saying? But if you real, you don't gotta do all that. You know what I'm saying? You just be yourself. And when it's time to put that work in, you put that work in. Simple as that. Real recognize real, man. Straight up. And anybody can hide behind a pistol. So just because you got a pistol and you'll blow your pistol, they'll tell you anybody. I always heard growing up from a youth, a scared nigga will kill you. Parcel, a scared man to kill you. You know what I'm saying? You know? So it's like anybody can hide behind a pistol, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, come on, man. We got to teach these youngsters to be men out here. They already grew up in single mother homes and shit like that. So now it's up to us to come in and guide them in the right way because they didn't have them father figures in their houses. You know what I'm saying? So we can't stand for motherfuckers getting on this internet and kicking that type of flavor to like this is the way to move. No, that type of energy in the gang culture is not respected, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially after you get to a certain age. Now, as a youth, if you 18, 19, well, the gang culture, a person should start gang banging from anywhere from people start gang banging from anywhere from like 8 years old to 15, 16, 17. That's when people start gang banging from 8 all the way up to 16, 17. So of course, in your younger years, you're gonna be wild. You gotta earn your bones. So you gotta put in work for the set. You know what I'm saying? But once you get the late 20s and 30s and shit like that, you shouldn't be talking like You a motherfucking BG still. You should have been moved through the ranks from at least a BG. You got a BG, a YG, and then you got uh a G, and then you an OG after that. So you shouldn't be in your 30s or your 40s still sounding like you a BG, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is the type of behavior we expect from uh the BGs, the 18-year-olds, the 15-year-olds, 21-year-olds. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They turned up. They gotta earn their bones. They gotta earn they stripes. You know what I'm saying? You know, but after you get to a certain age, you should have been already earned your stripes, man. You should be moving like a boss now, or like a real general now. You know what I'm saying? You should have been earned your stripes by then. Schemo don't look like he know 18-year-old to me. If he do, he that motherfucker look old as hell. That motherfucker got gray hair and all type of shit on his face, talking crazy like that, man. Fuck wrong with these people, man. But I think, you know what I'm saying, like I say, shout out to New York Bloods, man. Cause me being able to learn this story of how it originated just here recently, I've gained a lot of respect for just East Coast Bloods in general. Because before, you know, we always kind of looked down on the East Coast Bloods and the East Coast Blood movement, because it seemed like it just came out of nowhere, and it was like I felt like Lil Wayne and who else? Lil Wayne, and there was a couple more. Lil Wayne, Birdman, and them had all the East Coast banging. I felt like the East Coast was banging because of Lil Wayne and Birdman and them. That's what that's how I always looked at that. So to get the story and see that it started in '93 and how it started, why it started, that's I gained a lot of respect for the New York Bloods. So shout out to New York Bloods. But I think since they started gang banging late in the game, a lot of them dudes when they came in, when they got blooded in, when they came home, they was fucking 18, 19, 20, 21. I just told you when people join the gang, they join the gang as early as 8 years old, all the way up to like 17. You know what I'm saying? All the way up to there, but usually around like anywhere from like 12 to 15. That's when you jump off the porch and you join the gang. But these dudes start gang banging when they was grown men. So that means they never got a chance to really uh, earn their bones. I mean, they was putting their work in while they was locked up against the Latin Kings or whatever, but you know that was more of a penitentiary thing. So the older the founders, they put their work in, and they like in their late 40s and 50s now. They definitely earn their stripes though. I can't take that from them. They put their work in, but you see a culture of grown men still acting like kids. Where you'll see a 25-year-old dude that probably just came home when he was 21, or you see like a dude like a Schemo to where he's still running around like he a BG and he got gray hair on his face. You know what I'm saying? So this is the type of things that you see when you start gang banging at the later ages. You know what I'm saying? Suge Knight is a perfect example. He's from the West Coast. He started gang banging when he got out of college, right? So instead of him being able to put all his work in from 12 to 17, he basically was trying to put in work while he was in his late 20s, early 30s and shit. And now that led him to where he's at now. Because he was pushing the line while he was still while he should have been and already had his stripes by then. He should have been moving to G status, to OG status. See, the money made Suge Knight an OG. He became an honorary OG of Mob Piru because of his money. He was able to use his money and manipulate the rest of the set or the dudes in the set to where he was basically in the OG position in the game. You know what I'm saying? But he never got to really earn his stripes. He never got to earn his bones. You know, so yeah, man, these type of things, you know, You know, that could come back to haunt us, man. And if you 40 years old, 30, 40 years old, and you teaching the youth that gang banging is just about shoot 'em up, bang, bang, and all this and that, and that's all you talk about, that's all on your channel, is just promote negativity and shit. I never seen one positive video from Skeam Team. Not one video trying to uplift the youth. None of that. Every video is negativity. Shoot 'em up, bang, bang talk. And what I'm saying is, as a youth, as a BG, of course I expect that kind of energy coming from you, like the music that we hear today from the youth. That's all you hear. But they young, they gotta grow up into they got time to grow into men. They still boys. But I don't expect that from an old dude like Skeam. You know what I'm saying? This it's a grown man out here acting like a young dude. And I almost can't blame Skeam because you got motherfuckers like Whack 100. He on that same type of time. He's an old dude with a mentality of a young dude. You know what I'm saying? But we want to stay young. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep that youthfulness about yourself as far as not being out of touch with what's going on. But we are here to uplift the youth and guide them the right way, not feed into their bullshit and basically do the same shit that they doing. You know what I'm saying? We're here to guide them and show them, okay, this is where I went wrong. So bam, I can show you the right way to go. You know what I'm saying? Now we know that they're not always going to listen, but that don't stop us from still, okay, well, you all right, I just told you which way to go, and you went the wrong way. So now you see, I'm gonna lace you again. And bam, they're gonna you gotta let them bump their head. They're gonna bump their head. But that don't stop you from still building with them and putting that positive reinforcement. You got to be a positive reinforcement to let them know, like, I made all those same mistakes, but this is the right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And hey, out of 10 youngsters, 9 of them might not listen to you, but you'll have that one that'll take heed. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it takes, man. If you can affect the one, then he might have a positive effect on the others because he's more in their age range and they peers and they live in the same lifestyle, so they're respected more coming from somebody, that's their peer. You know what I'm saying? So it's always our duty as the elders in the community to steer the youth in the right way, man. So when I see somebody just on the internet and just being reckless and promoting the culture in the way that it shouldn't be promoted, I have to step in and I have to say something. I'm not hating on Skeam. I don't have no personal beef with Skeam. Only one thing personally where I went to Skeam and I told him about China Mac. If y'all haven't seen my video I did on China Mac, go check it out. I went to him and I told him that there was a possibility that China Mac ratted while he was locked up after he got cut. Tragedy Gaddafi, the one that pretty much brought that to the forefront. Shout out Tragedy Gaddafi. China Mac explained the situation away, but he didn't really go into detail about everything. You know what I'm saying? That's the best I say. Go watch my video that I did on China Mac, and then you'll get the gist of what I'm talking about. But I took the story to Skeam first. Skeam pretty much he didn't want to touch it, which that's his choice. If he don't want to touch that, that's his choice. But that's the only uh personal conversation that I had with Skeem as far as on a personal tip. Other than that, I don't have no beef with Skeem. But I do have a beef about how he promotes himself on this internet and how he's leading the youth in the wrong direction. I do have a problem with that. It's not even a beef, but I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And if he get a chance to see this video, then he can basically, he can pretty much address it or don't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just getting this off my chest. You know, I just see that as like sucker shit. Ain't no such thing as a super blood, a super crip, a super gangbanger. Ain't no such thing as none of that shit. We all humans. We people. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could get it. You know what I'm saying? I just seen the toughest of the toughest get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I just seen some of the most thoroughest killers get murdered. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, man. Anybody could get it. Anybody could get it. You know what I'm saying? So all that tough shit about I'm the toughest dude on YouTube, or I'm the toughest blood in my set, or I'm the toughest crip in my set. Come on, man. I see through that shit, man. I see through that shit. That should be a facade to keep motherfuckers off their ass, man. Straight up. That should be a facade, man. A real spill. Yeah, man, and it's another topic, man, I wanted to touch on too, man. I'm gonna stick to the NY Blood thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, shout out to the NY Blood. I gained a lot of respect for them dudes after that story hit. You know, Queen's Flip brought that story out, so we got to learn of how it started, why, how, all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? So I gained a lot of respect. I thought Lil Wayne and Birdman and them boys had all the whole East Coast banging. I thought that's the reason why the East Coast was banging, because of them. So yeah, man. But to learn that it started in an organic way, which I seen the documentaries about OG Mac and all that, but it was from an outsider perspective. Now we getting to hear the insider view of how it really started. You know what I'm saying? So I gained a lot of respect for them dudes. But I got a question for CK. Shout out CK, Corey King. My question for CK is, when you first was going live, I came on your live and I got in your comments and I asked you who brought you home. And you said Shy 120 and Supreme. I don't know who those dudes is, but I've heard a little bit. And if I'm not mistaken, them dudes was basically they was kicked out the whip at some point. But my question is, why when you went on Queen's Flip, you said that you was brought home by Shy 120 and Deadeye? Why did you take Supreme out of that equation? That's my question for CK. Because normally when people do that, they doing it to cover up something. But you know, I got a lot of respect for CK. You know, we actually tapped in on the gram. So I got a lot of respect for CK, but that's just a question that I got, you know what I'm saying? And if you see this video, you could respond to it in one of your lives. You know what I'm saying? But why did you, when you first came out, as far as on YouTube, you said Shy 120 and Supreme brought you home. But when you went on Queen's Flip, you said Shy 120 and Deadeye brought you home. So I'm just wondering, why did you switch that up like that? You know what I'm saying? You know, why did you switch that up? You know, and that's another thing. We got a good part of the history, but it's still a piece of the history, the NY Blood history, that's missing because the original founders all got kicked out the whip. So they're not around to tell the original story of what happened. You know what I'm saying? Which CK brought a lot of clarity when he went on Queen's Flip, when he brought up the dude Fish, the OG Fish from the West Coast. He brought up that guy, you know what I'm saying? He mentioned him, and he was saying that that dude turned dude's blood at Rikers Island. You know what I'm saying? I guess he was supposed to be responsible for, I guess, turning OG Mac blood. So that was a part of the history that we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? From the outside looking in, you know. But I definitely, that's a question that I have for CK, of why he said that Shy 120 and Deadeye brought him home when he was on Queen's Flip, but when he was first coming out on YouTube, he said Shy 120 and Supreme brought him home. I was wondering why he did that, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just a question I got for CK. Shout out CK though. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no shade, ain't no hate. It's just, I'm just asking for a little clarity, like this, sir. You know what I mean? But for the most part, man, salute all them dudes, man. Salute Killer Kev, salute Wildcat, salute Mel Cross, salute CK, salute Pimp. Who else? Salute Soul B, salute all the OGs, man. The dudes, the original dudes, the dudes that was responsible for starting the blood thing in New York. Even though I know a lot of them dudes aren't the original five or whatever, but they are the foundation. You know what I'm saying? So salute all them dudes. You know what I'm saying? That just is what it is, man. But the boy Skeam though, we ain't up off you, Skeam. We on your bumper, Skeam. Pause. We on your bumper, boy. You promoting that bullshit, man, to the youth, man. You promote negativity, man. It's all about peace and prosperity, man, for our people, man. We ain't promoting that black on black violence and that negativity, man. We ain't promoting that. We ain't doing that, man. And that's one thing I'm surprised that none of the OGs ain't stepped out and said something to Skeam about this. None of the NY Bloods, none of the OGs, this NY, from the NY Bloods and all that. I ain't heard none of them really, step out and really just lay Skeam's shoes up. You know what I mean? Point yourself. I ain't heard none of them come out and speak on the issue. You know what I'm saying? I've heard Mel Cross touch on it here and there, but for the most part, I haven't heard none of the OGs address this issue about how one of their members is on the internet just promoting negativity, man. I haven't heard nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I could kick off the wave. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is the beginning where somebody else could see this video. Because like I said, CK, I need him to answer that question for me. But Skeam, this video is really about Skeam, man, and how he moving out here, man. Super blood, man. We see straight through that. You know what I mean? We see straight through that super blood shit. Ain't no such thing as no super blood or a super crip or just a super gangbanger, period. Ain't no such thing as that. We all humans. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could get it. Anybody could get it anytime. All that tough shit, that tough guy shit, I done seen the toughest niggas get knocked off their pivot, man. You know what I mean? That's big facts. Yeah, man, but I think I pretty much touched on everything I wanted to touch on in this video. If I didn't, I will follow up and pretty much go back in on the topic. If I left something out. But for the most part, that's pretty much it, man. And if you haven't, hit that like button. You know what I mean? Goddamn, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell, that notification bell for when we go live. You could be in tune with me, so you can see. You can catch me when I go live. You'll get that notification. You know what I mean? And we want you to hit the like button so it'll bring my video up in suggestions, in the recommendations. They'll recommend my video more, the more likes that it get. You know what I'm saying? So, bim, a like is like a donation over here. You know what I mean? But go subscribe to my other channels. We got Hip Hop Media Outlet and we got Indigenous People Media Outlet. Go subscribe to both of them channels. Hit the notification bell. I go live on all 3 channels. You know what I'm saying? We got an affiliate channel, Trap House Boxing. Go subscribe and hit the notification bell to Trap House Boxing. That's my affiliate channel. Everything you need to know about boxing, bam, my boy covering it over there. Then we got Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram. One Urban Media Fix. One Urban Media Fix on Instagram. If you do music, if you're up and coming artist, DM me your music. Follow me. Let me know you from YouTube and all that. And I'll follow you back and DM me your music and I can help you promote your music. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram and on Twitter and all the different platforms and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? That's how we giving it up. And without further ado, I ain't even about to get this dude no hour. You know what I'm saying? He can't even get a whole hour from me, man. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna cut it short right now. You know, shout out to everybody that tuned in. Yeah, I mean, until next time, I'm out. Gone.